It was a glamorous arrival at UN headquarters in the autumn of 1957, in her early 30s, but already after 6 years on the throne, with the message then to the General Assembly that the future of the organization would be determined not only by the degree to which its members observed the Charter, but also by the strength of its people's devotion to the pursuit of those ideals. Fast forward 53 years to 2010, accompanied then by her late husband Prince Philip, welcomed by then UN Chief Ban Ki-moon.
Your reign spans the decades, from the challenges of the Cold War to the threat of global warming, from the Beatles to Beckham, from the television to Twitter. Through the years, you have traveled the world and met its people. You have become a living symbol of grace, constancy, and dignity.
The British monarch at 84 talked then about how much had changed in the world, but also about how some things simply endure.
I have also witnessed great change, much of it for the better, particularly in science and technology and in social attitudes. Remarkably, many of these sweeping advances have come about not because of governments, committee resolutions or central directives, although all these have played a part, but instead because millions of people around the world have wanted them. For the United Nations, these subtle yet significant changes in people's approach to leadership and power might have foreshadowed failure and demise. Instead, the United Nations has grown and prospered by responding and adapting to those shifts.
She touched on the challenges of the Millennium Development Goals which preceded the SDGs, climate change and terrorism, and also praised those gathered for their leadership and public service.
I started by talking about leadership. I have much admiration for those who have the talent to lead, particularly in public service and in diplomatic life. And I congratulate you, your colleagues, and your predecessors on your many achievements. It has perhaps always been the case that the waging of peace is the hardest form of leadership of all. I know of no single formula for success, but over the years, I have observed that some attributes of leadership are universal and are often about finding ways of encouraging people to combine their efforts, their talents, their insights, their enthusiasm and their inspiration to work together.
Ascending to the throne in 1952 when the UN was just 6 years old. And a first meeting at the United Nations in 1957, meaning that this is a relationship that has endured for almost 65 years, with the current Secretary-General Antonio Guterres expressing only admiration and respect for the British monarch as she now marks 70 years on the throne. Sherwin Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.